Massachusetts is a state known for its fine educational institutions, but maybe less so for its wealth of diverse citizenry, springing from the many immigrants, asylum seekers, and other foreign nationals whom it welcomes into its communities every year. As of 2018, nearly a sixth of its residents were foreign-born, moving to New England from their birthplaces in China, India, Brazil, Vietnam, the Dominican Republic, and more. And the city of Cambridge is no different. But for the many young people joining the community and going into elementary or high school without proficiency in the English language, we ask, what does that transition into classes taught for and by native speakers look like? Audible and the Loop Lab have collaborated on a series exploring different aspects of education in the city of Cambridge. The fear and reality is, without help acclimating to a new language and a new culture, many of these talented and hopeful students will fall to the wayside. Fortunately for Cambridge, there are organizations like En route and the International Center to be a guide.
My name is Henderson, first of all, and I'm 18 years old. I'm Dominican for sure. You can notice just with the feeling and everything. Like I like to enjoy my life. I came like last year as a ESL student, and I need to compare like the high school in DR with the high school in here. And I think like the experience is different because the language. The thing of the high school in here, you enjoy a lot.
My name is Vanya Loredo, and I'm the Senior Director of Program at En route. En route is a community organization, and our work supports immigrant youth. So a lot of our students come as recently arrived immigrants to either Cambridge or Somerville, and we coordinate with the districts to help them really figure out what they need and what their needs are outside of the school system.
In this context, I'm an educator. I run the International Center, and I support the staff as well as the students. Our students, they come from many different countries, and they speak several languages. Like some of the students speak 2, 3, 4 languages.
Students have the support of teachers, have the support of counselors, but sometimes they don't have a place to really talk about what's going on at home. They don't have a place that really understands culturally what it's like to be in school because they come from a different cultural system at times. And what we do is try to create a safe space for students to really be themselves.
For example, here in International Center, I have Miss Stuart, I have Miss Anna, and for sure, I need to say my guidance counselor, Miss Nathan. She's the best one. Like if you need to know something about college, she's the best one that I can recommend it to you because she's gonna help you to go through the Common App, Naviance, and the things that you need to know for college. If the college is good for you, she support you, she guide you through the path that you need to take to be successful, and things like that. I love it. And Miss Duarte and Miss Anna for sure too, because if I need something for my family or everything or anything that I need, I can get it from here. I know for sure.
In many schools around Massachusetts or in the country, if you come to the United States, you don't speak English, you are placed at the high school level because of your age, and you go straight into a general ed classroom, right, where everyone else is like a native speaker of English. Sometimes the teachers might not have had any training. So you are just in the back of the room, right, like really not knowing what's going on. We hear a lot about dropouts within this population. And I think there's a reason for that, right? If you are going to a school where there are no supports and all of a sudden, like, you just move from another country, you don't speak the language, and now you are in a physics class, you might know the content, but you don't know how to speak about it, like in English. So if you arrive here and your English is not strong enough yet to be in a general ed classroom, you are going to be working with these teachers in these classrooms where the content is still the same, the assessments are still the same, but the way the content is presented is going to be different.
I think for me, things were very different. I was forced to learn English because the ESL program was not as strong as it is here. And so within a month of being at ESL, and that's what we used to call it back then, I was sent to mainstream classes. And that learning curve was so hard and just very traumatic. And I think I still have scars from that. I remember one time I was in my reading class and I was supposed to be reading out loud a paragraph, and my teacher stopped the classroom and was like, by the way, the reason why you don't understand Vanya is because she has an accent. Things like that obviously like mark you and make you feel like you might not belong, and then Root actually provides an opportunity to celebrate your identity.
A lot of what we do here in the International Center, is not just me, is really to support students with the language, but also to your point about opportunities and access. We make sure that students are aware of all the opportunities, and we help them navigate the system, right? Like, if you want to play a sport, it's not just like, I want to play soccer. You actually have to fill out a registration form. You have to get a physical. You have to take a concussion test. So we definitely help them with all of that, right? But again, the students that I work with, it's about language access, right? And as they develop more language, it's going to be easier for them to access everything that the school has to offer.
Comparing the opportunities that I have in DR and comparing the opportunities that I have in here, just if you know like what you're going to do, if you have goals, here is the best place to follow them. Because like with the colleges, with all the stuff that you have, it's like, I think it's the best option because it prepares you in the best way. For example, in here in the high school, you are taking like majors, for example, like computer science. Like you can prepare you for college, and you can work for it. You can work. Sometimes in my country, if you made the majors, you can work. And the way like they provide you the ways like you can get a job while you're in high school, make the things easier for you because you have homework and you have to work.
My name is Ellie Via Wilson, and I'm the Director of College Success and Alumni Engagement here at Enroute. Some things people don't know about Enroute is that we support students post-high school as well. So they know about our traditional program at Somerville High School and Cambridge Ridge and Latin High School, but we have a program where we can support students for 4 years post-high school, no matter what they're doing. So some are in college, some are doing vocational and trade programs, some are working, supporting their families, all different kind of pathways. But we do have a number of students that are going to college, choosing that pathway for themselves post-high school. And then we host a number of just workshops throughout the year to support them. And those can range from how do you make a budget? How do you make sure your credit is on point? Things that we probably should be learning in high school, but we're not. We don't usually learn until we're young adults or we're thrown out into the world and we have to navigate those situations. So providing programs to really support students to learn these skills that they need to navigate the world, to navigate college, navigate the workforce.
So our students are all unique, and so Enroute has a mentoring program that is divided into two cohorts, our Explore program and our Leadership and Emerge program. Our Explore cohort is for recently arrived students. So they practice their English, they practice with a mentor, a lot of the cultural mannerisms that they might have questions on. We also help them and support them with homework. We also help them understand the nuances of what it's like to be in a new community. We talk a little bit more about just like what it's also like to be new, but what it was like to be in their home countries. Like, what was home like? What was playtime like? What was fun like? Because that's also very important to establish as a grounding mechanism. And through that, we see students really loosen up to their mentor. They start sharing more. They start being more lively during mentoring nights. Mentoring nights can be very quiet at the beginning, and towards the end of the year, you see everybody just laughing and working together. And During those explore nights, we also help students with activities in terms of like English acquisition, but it's more about like learning what your resources are, learning what community looks like, and helping them practice also a new language. One of the things that we do is work in partnerships with organizations in the community to provide internships. So we have an internship program, and in that internship program, we match students with a partner organization who is hosting the student throughout the academic year. And because of that internship, students have exposure to doing anything from working in a lab at MIT or doing parkour at Somerville. It's a variety of different spaces for them to really explore what it's like to work, what it's like to have responsibilities. We have students really leaning into the work that they're doing and feeling like they are being supported by that community. And at the top of that, they get paid. So we provide students a stipend, a monthly stipend for them to feel like they're also being recognized for their work, but also feeling like what it's like to work and like have that kind of responsibility.
I believe that we do a good job supporting students at school, but it's like, as a new immigrant in a new country, sometimes school is the least of your problems, right? There's housing, there's like health insurance. So we really try to provide all those supports.
I think the challenge that we see a lot of the time is supporting students when there's not a lot of resources available, when students have different statuses. So some of our students are on DocuPlus, some of our students are first or second generation students. We're seeing students who are also refugees and asylum seekers, and every single one of the students has a different path because of their status. And so how do you support a student with such unique stories, but also empower them to know that there are resources out there, can be very challenging, because one, we have to make sure that the student feels safe and comfortable to share some of that information with us, but at the same time empower them to make sure that they're taking care of themselves and seeing what the future looks like. And while status is a huge societal barrier, there are also resources out there to support them.
I've been doing this for 20 years, and I get emotional every year at graduation. To see students that arrived here with no English, right? And in many cases, we also have students with interrupted schooling. We have students right now at the high school that the last time they were in school was in second grade. They stopped going to school in second grade to help their parents to work in the farm or in the fields, and now they are here. They want to come to school, and they are placed at the high school level, right? Those students still have to fulfill all the graduation requirements like everyone else. They have to pass the English MCAS, the Math MCAS, the Science MCAS. And sometimes when I meet them, I'm like, how are we going to do it in such a short period of time, right? Because that's the difference between the high school and the elementary school, right? If you arrive here when you are 7, 8 years old, you have still a long time. But if you are now 16 or 17, your time is limited here. And there's a lot that you have to do in order to earn that diploma. When I see those students cross the stage and get their diploma, I cannot tell you how proud I am of them and all the staff members, everyone in the school that contributed to those students getting to where they are.
And every time we hear a success story of students, winning a scholarship, and because somebody at Enroute supported them or supported them with one-time financial aid through our one-on-one project partner. Those are things that we're building for students. So we're constantly making sure that our work is there. But my commitment to the organization is based because of how much I know students might be going through and not letting others know, just because I've gone through that same journey as well.
I've had a couple students like move on and become U.S. citizens or get like permanent residence here in the U.S., which is a big deal. I've had students graduate from college, which is also a big milestone and a big goal, especially for them and their families. So things like that always make me excited. We get to celebrate with them. They'll run and tell us, they'll send us graduation photos, and it's just really cool to watch that happen for them and what it means for their life moving forward.
In senior year, you're like kind of, man, my last year, seriously, like you're literally counting the days like, oh shit, I'm done. And then you're coming with college, so like it's like starting again. The only difference, like you're gonna maybe if you're planning, like if you're thinking in living on campus, that's gonna be like the difference that you can say like is best, is the best option. But if you can. I like comparing high school and college, but because I hope to be, I'm an MLB baseball player. I wanna buy my mom a house. I wanna put her as a queen because I owe my mom everything that I have right now, the way that she raised me, and do my best every day and teach my son the way that my mom raised me. That's it.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Go ahead.
Being heard, blending in, and receiving recognition are some of the basic struggles these students face in their day-to-day lives. They grapple with the fundamental challenge of fitting in as they navigate the bustling corridors of their schools and learn to traverse a wholly unfamiliar environment. Community organizations like En route and the International Center support students by providing a safe space for them to be themselves and figure it out. Together with them, and with eyes full of dreams and hearts full of passion, these students are breaking boundaries as they strive to make their marks.